Welcome back to Math for Technology. We are moving on to Chapter 12, which is our exponential and logarithmic functions chapter. We're going to go ahead and start in Section 1, which just focuses on exponential functions. So the first thing I need you to think about is what the term exponential means. Notice the very beginning of it has exponent in it. And all of these terms that are written down here that says what do these have in common, those are all examples of exponential functions. They notice all have an exponent. We're used to things having exponents that are nice whole numbers, like 2 to the third, 5 to the fourth, things like that. Notice a lot of these, we have square root of 3, that's not rational. Square root of 6 is not rational. Pi is not rational. We even have bases that aren't what we're used to. We're used to nice numbers. We're going to go ahead and work with others as well. Now, one thing you have to make sure you can do is plug all of these types of things into your calculator. On your calculator, you're going to look for a couple buttons. Either look for a button that looks like this, it's a little y to the x, or you might look for a button that has an upside down arrow on it. It's called a caret. Either one of those will be able to do this for you. So we're going to go ahead and plug in a couple of these just to make sure you can put them into your calculator. Let's start with this first one. We're going to do the base of 4 to the power of square root of 3. In either one of these buttons you start with the base. So I'm going to start with the 4. Then I either hit the YX button or I hit the caret button. And then I'm going to do the square root of 3 depending on my calculator. And I should get that this is approximately 11, is the weirdest 11, let's try that again, 11.0. And it's actually 11.04 if you want to get technical. Okay, so go ahead and do a couple of these. The next one, pi to the fourth, do the pi button, hit that button, and then fourth, do your power button. And you should get approximately 97.41, right? This is saying take pi times pi times pi times pi. That's what exponents do. On this one, we're going to do the square root of 5, power button, square root of 6, should get approximately 7.18, 5 to the pi button. That's 5 being multiplied just a little over 3 times. $156.99. Square root of 5 to the pi. 12.53. And last but not least, square root of 5 to the power of 5/4. Now if you have a fraction key, you can use the fraction key. If you don't, you might want to put 5/4 in as 1.25. You should get approximately 2.73. So before you keep going, make sure you can get those answers off your calculator. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to graph these. You're used to graphing linear equations, equations that make a line. You've even done some quadratic equations, that was the cup or the U shape, and exponential functions have their own unique shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a t-table. F of x, this is the same as y. It's interchangeable with that. So I'm going to pick x's to plug in, and I'm going to get y's out. So I'm just going to pick some numbers. Let's do maybe -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and let's see what happens. So I'm plugging 5 to that power. So 5 to the -2, 5 to the -1. So these are powers. 5 to the 0, 5 to the first, 5 to the second.